Hi, my name is Dr. Ahvie Herskowitz, and we're sitting here with some of my favorite people, two special guests. We're sitting in Anatara Medicine offices in San Francisco. I have my good friend Karen Cooley here, who we've known each other now for almost 13 years, and she's going to talk about her journey with SPS, stiff person syndrome, and how she's come a very long way with it, and we wanted to share that with the public. But I also want to introduce you to Dr. Shawn Tierney from Southern California, and I'll have him introduce himself more clearly. But has been a pivotal player in getting Karen all the way through her story, which she'll tell us in her own words. So, Dr. Tierney.
So I'm Dr. Shawn Tierney. I am a musculoskeletal sonologist, and my specialty is really teaching and guiding, assisting in neuromusculoskeletal diagnosis and procedures. So one of those procedures we do a lot of is sympathetic blocks, whether it's a stellate block or a lumbar sympathetic block. Other things we do a lot is something we call nerve hydrodissection. I just mention these things because in this case, both of these things have been useful. And it's one of those therapies in healthcare that's not covered as broadly as we would like. This is not alternative medicine. It's just a little bit more precise, advanced use of guided procedures.
So Karen's had a stellate ganglion block just about an hour and a half ago, so she's a little bit cautious about her face being a little bit warped and her left eye drooping a little bit. But that's all means that the stellate block is working. So we won't necessarily specifically talk about that, but I did want her to share her story with SPS. This is a very serious illness. She's been cared for by the specialized team at UC San Francisco for a number of years, but I wanted you to tell the story about what happened and how severely affected you were by that.
Wow. Okay. So for a long time, nobody could diagnose me. And I was going to a lot of regular medical places to try to get diagnosed. And they kept saying, I don't know what you have. And I was having spasms. I was getting stiffer. I couldn't walk. It got to where I ruptured both iliopsoas, so I had no ability to move my legs. I was having terrible, horrific spasms many nights, not every night, but many nights, all night long, where my husband would have to turn me over every 5 minutes. It was one of those illnesses. It is one of those illnesses that you think somebody should just push you off a cliff. But I am managed now in a way that is kind of amazing, actually. I was told by the medical community that I wouldn't ever walk again. And so, of course, I came back to Ahvie that I had gotten so many treatments for other things for. And he said, I think I have something to help you. And he had me inject some BPC 157 peptides. And in 1 month, I could start to walk with a walker again. And keep in mind, I ruptured my hips 6 months apart. And for the 6 months that I had ruptured one, I was doing warm water therapy twice a week. But when they found the other one ruptured, they said, I'm sorry, this one's still just as ruptured. And if scar tissue doesn't heal it, you're just out of luck. You're not going to be able to move your legs. I mean, I don't know about you, but I never thought that it would be my dream to be able to walk with a walker again. But anything to be able to not be a bedridden person. And so when Ahvie gave me the peptide, and we've done a number of other things since. Some amazing things. I can't even describe that to you. The healing process that has happened for me with that, and And Dr. Tierney has been my godsend as I've gotten a little bit better, because the stellate ganglion block that he does actually quiets the nervous system. And, and it's one of the things that this illness does is it amps up the nervous system. And so what happens is it starts pulling my ribs out. It starts pulling my neck out, my spine.
But Karen, you're you have a rare illness.
It's a horrible.
The most famous person I think in the world that has this is
Celine Dion. Yes.
Who gave an amazing presentation at the Olympic Games.
Yes.
She blew it out of the water. Certainly,
She
looked
amazing.
great.
Oh,
and
yeah.
At the same time, you also had other events like you broke your ankles and so on, and you had to. But when you first came in with the SPS, you were in a wheelchair.
Yes.
And then you graduated into a walker.
Yes.
And today you walked in on your own.
And I can dance, I can move, I can turn. I mean, and balance is a huge issue with this illness. And then my breaking my foot and it not healing right. And then thank God I got some special treatment from Dr. Tierney. And so my foot is actually been regenerating. And if you could see me walk or dance today, you wouldn't know that I was the same person 5 years ago, or 4 years. I don't know. The time's blurred. Even my brain went down due to this illness. Ahvie saw me in the wheelchair, and I said, "Ahvie, I can't remember anything. I don't know what's wrong with me. And so I had to stop working for 3 years. Now I'm taking the toughest client we have. And so what I would say is, for anybody that has stiff person syndrome, there isn't another place that I've been able to find that does the things that these guys do.
Well, thank you for that. It's really encouraging that there is something that at least one person has done that, and we have other types of clients with other syndromes, even genetic disorders, that we can bring them back. But it's a unifying theory of the body being a system.
Yes.
So we don't leave one system just focusing on one system.
Yes.
But here it's a neurological reset. It requires the brain to reset. It requires the whole sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system to reset. It requires the immune system to be reset back down to a more calmer state, so to speak. And if you forget one of them, you may not get the full benefit. But this has been a long journey.
Yes.
And for us, watching you do the jitterbug today was amazing.
Very smooth
And
motion.
if I can, I will add it to the end of this at the end of this video, just for you to see what's possible. And the other thing that's extraordinarily special with Karen is a willpower. She never believed that she wouldn't get better. And she understood deep in her heart that you're not here to be in a wheelchair, you're here to live life. And now you go spend the winters in Portugal with your lovely husband. And cognitively, the work that she does is very high level stuff. It's basically collaborating with CEOs across Silicon Valley to coach them. So you have to be with it. Oh. And you were afraid to be with it when your so-called brain fog was a little bit out of control, but that's inflammatory. But what's going on in your ankles is truly regenerative.
Yes. And
what's going on in your appearance, I don't want to tell the audience how old you are, but she looks spectacular. I'm
63, and that's fine to say that. Thank you. But sometimes I wish I looked 23, but we haven't quite gotten there yet. But anyway, I'm living life again, and I'm full out living life again.
Well, for me, it's this collaboration with Dr. Tierney that's so meaningful, because I've been waiting for a master practitioner to collaborate with, and I certainly found him in Dr. Tierney, who's probably one of the most qualified people on earth to do this type of work. And it's brilliant to be able to work together as we are all day today, and to converge and give you what you actually need. In this case, this is what you really needed.
All of these things are what I needed.
Yes.
They work on the holistic system in a way that, has been completely life-changing and changed the trajectory of my whole life. So I thank you both.
Thank you for taking the time. Thank you, Dr. Tierney. Thank you.
Thank you. And do it. And look, I can even.
So this is stiff man syndrome.
It was.
It was.
Well, it is, but.
Wow. Tremendous.